now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and I know we're a day late, but this is our new release Saturday for the week. It was supposed to be Black Adam today, but unfortunately, time and money got the best of me. I was unable to get to the multiplex to see this film, to review it this week. It is being pushed back until next week. So today, instead, we are going to cover the brand new Roku Channel Original Film, Weird, the Al Yankovic Story, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood, Rainn Wilson, Spencer Treat Clark, Tommy O'Brien, Jack Lancaster, Will Forte, and Weird Al Yankovic. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Sunday. New release Saturday was supposed to be yesterday. Time just got the better of me with the Crown Jewel PLE being so early in the morning and open mic night in the evening. I just kind of wanted the rest of the day to kind of unwind, chill with the family, etc. So it is actually 11 o'clock in the morning, Sunday, West Coast time, as I am filming this to go up this afternoon. It's going to be a new release Sunday instead of a new release Saturday, technically this week. Also, like I said, Black Adam just didn't have the time or the money to get to the theater and see it. The film we're going to cover today was going to originally be my new release Saturday for November 19th. But since it was free to a streaming site and it was released this past Friday, I was able to view it, get it watched, get my notes taken, so I can at least have something to bring to you this week in place for new release Saturday. And we're going to discuss Weird, the Al Yankovic Story. And our movie opens with a young Alfred Matthew Yankovic, who becomes interested in playing the accordion. However, his father strongly eschews this as not normal, which leads Al to becoming estranged from his parents. While living with his roommates, Steve, Jim, and Bermuda, Al attempts to join a band as an accordion player, but is rejected. A flash of inspiration then leads him to replace the words from the Knacks' My Sharona, turning it in to My Bologna. Al then sends a tape of the song to a local radio DJ, and the song proves to be popular. Al goes and attempts to secure a record deal contract with Scotti Brothers Records, but they tell him that he needs to perform some concerts first before they will even consider giving him a contract. One evening, Al goes to perform his latest song, I Love Rocky Road, at a biker bar when all of a sudden his roommates step in and fill out his band. The song goes over great and catches the interest of Dr. Demento, who offers to be his manager and immediately suggests that he goes by Weird Al Yankovic. Al is able to impress some of the elite of Hollywood at one of Dr. Demento's get-togethers by coming up with Another One Rides the Bus on the fly from a dare issued by Wolfman Jack and John Deacon, the bass player for Queen. Al is finally able to secure his first record contract, and his first album goes multi-platinum. Now, despite his successful career, Al finds that his parents are still dismissive of him. Dr. Demento suggests that Al tries to make his own original song, and Al refuses until he is suddenly struck by inspiration after inadvertently taking LSD. Al pens his new original song entitled Eat It, which becomes a huge success. Madonna then meets and begins to seduce Al, attempting to convince him to parody her brand new song, Like a Virgin, although Al insists that he now only writes original songs. Dr. Demento and Al's bandmates attempt to warn him that Madonna is a bad influence, but he ignores their warning and continues the whirlwind romance. Just before a big show, Al learns that Michael Jackson has taken Eat It and parodied it as Beat It. Al is distraught by the news, gets drunk, and ends up getting into a car accident. While he survives, he decides to take up Madonna's request, writing Like a Surgeon, which he premieres at the show that evening. When he is reminded that Eat It is the last song for the show, he goes back to drinking on stage and is arrested for lewd behavior. Once he is released from jail, Al confesses to Madonna that he thinks his career is over. Suddenly, Madonna is kidnapped by agents for Pablo Escobar, who is a huge fan of Al and attempts to use the kidnapping to coerce him to play for him. Al manages to kill Escobar and his men to free Madonna, But when Madonna suggests that they take over Escobar's drug reign, Al realizes that Madonna has been using him and dumps her. With no career, Al returns home to work in the same factory that his father has worked in for many years. Finally, his father reveals that he has been a fan of Al's ever since his career took off, which ends up bringing the family back together. Al's father reveals that he had eschewed Al's interest in the accordion because for himself, growing up in an Amish community, he was excommunicated for also taking up the accordion. The story gives Al a fresh idea for a brand new song, Amish Paradise, and leads to him winning a major award. At the ceremony, Madonna orchestrates Al's assassination, which sends the nation into mourning. In a mid-credits scene, Madonna visits Al's grave to leave flowers, only for Al's zombified arm to reach out and grab her as our movie comes to its close. This movie was hilarious. I've read a lot of reviews with people that didn't really get the movie. And for me, if you didn't understand the movie, then you don't understand the humor of Weird Al Yankovic himself. This movie was essentially a parody of biopics. You think about your standard biopics, and you can insert celebrity here, and you think about their humble beginnings, the rise to fame, the drugs and alcohol, the sex scandals, their downfall, ultimately their demise, etc. All that was in this movie, except virtually none of it was true. To my knowledge, from having watched Weird Al's Behind the Music back in the day, he never was into drugs. He never heavily drank. He didn't have sex scandals. All this stuff was made up for the sake of the movie as a way to parody biopics. And in true Weird Al style, it's just freaking hilarious. This is the most Weird Al film out there that there could ever be, with the exception of his original film UHF back in the day, in which case Al inherited a public access television channel and was able to parody all kinds of shows within the confines of the movie and that TV station. This is essentially him parodying the style of biopics, kind of like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. This was funny. It was hilarious. Everyone played their part perfectly. Daniel Radcliffe killed it as Al. Evan Rachel Wood was amazing as Madonna. I don't really see like Oscar in the future for any of these things, but it definitely delivered where it was supposed to. If you went into this movie expecting a serious film, you walked into the wrong movie. There is very little, if anything, serious about Al Yankovic. That's why he's named Weird Al. He's out there. He's crazy. He's a little bit psychotic. He is weird. This movie was weird. But it was weird in a fun, enjoyable way, not in some creepy, dark, sadistic way. I thoroughly enjoyed it. When it comes to my rating for Weird, the Al Yankovic Story, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. If it hits digital media, DVD, Blu-ray, I will definitely pick it up. If it stays limited to Roku, I will definitely watch it again down the road. But I highly recommend, if you are a fan of Weird Al Yankovic, check this out, because it's as Weird Al of a story as you're ever going to get about his career. Period, point blank. What do you guys think of Weird, the Al Yankovic Story? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in immediately following this broadcast, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as it's time, as always on Sundays, to once again step into the war zone. That's right, it'll be time for another edition of the Weekly Acquisition Report, where I, the Renegade, show you, the viewers, the latest additions to my ever-growing movie library. This week, we're going to take a look at some Dollar Tree Blu-rays that I picked up around the same time as the DVDs that I showed you guys last week. So make sure you tune in at the top of the half hour for the War Zone. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time for another edition of Renegades Reviews, and I'll be taking a look at the Sandra Bullock film, keeping up with our theme for the month. It's going to be time for While You Were Sleeping, starring Sandra Bullock, Bill Pullman, Peter Boyle, Jack Warden, Glynis Johns, and Peter Gallagher. And then at the top of the hour, both right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network, it'll be time for another edition of The Dads, Not Always on Wrestling, as we discuss our top 10 matches in ECW November to Remember history. You're not going to want to miss out on that. Right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right here on Renegades Reviews, right here on the War Zone, over on the Jeff Meacham Network. Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. So much content coming up in the next 24 hours. You don't want to miss out on any of it. To all my loyal fans and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me here today. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on. That way you're alerted anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, or anytime we go live, as is the case with Open Mic Night, Stat Boy Sports Bar, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life. Anybody that's a fan of Weird Al Yankovic, Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood, etc. Share this video with them. It's the only way we're going to boost my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized, make some money on this endeavor. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you'll ever know, and I will see you guys next time.